I was wearing my own court security jumper, which I've made me own in court, and they tried to stop me going into the building because they reckon I was impersonating a court security officer. Absolutely hysterical. And my jumper has got a Ghostbuster sign through the crest and been approved by the Ministry of Justice for me to wear it in court buildings. I sorted it all out like 4 years ago. So these guys just were being complete muppets when I went into court. So I don't know. I can only presume. But what I do know for a fact with my own recording is that the court ordered $30 court costs.
Fine $150 with court costs of $30.
The court ordered $30 court costs. G'day guys. Right. Just a little update on the court costs thing here that these guys seem to be, I don't know, causing a bit of obstruction. Now last week, after speaking to the Department of Collections and the Ministry of Justice, Stuart, great chap, I did exactly what they suggested. I emailed the Ministry of Justice, the Manukau District Court, and asked them for a transcript of the defendant hearing. Now, in the last 10 years, and you guys, if you've watched my channel, you know, I get a lot of transcripts. I've requested lots of transcripts in the last 10 years, and not once have I had to fill out some stupid application to access court documents, which ironically it states under the District Court Access to Court Documents Rules 2017 and under the Senior Court's Access to Court Documents Rules. So it says it on here, and yet I request it via email, and that's not good enough. And you know, some of the reasons why is they want you to fill out these forms, because these forms are written in such a way to almost trick you. You know, like it'll ask you to fill out your name, and it'll say the documents we want access are, okay, you want access, no, I want copies. Fuck access to them, I want copies of it. Why? Because it's my right under the District Court Access to Court Documents Rules as a party to the proceedings to have these documents, especially when a decision's been made and then they go and issue a misleading and fraudulent document the following day, i.e. notice of court fine, stating the court costs of being $100 more than what they were supposed to have been to what the decision maker on the day made.
Fine $150 with court costs of $30.
So ironically, the only way to prove that is to get a copy of the transcript. So under duress, for the first time in 10 fucking years, I've filled out their stupid access to court documents application form. Plus I've also written my own application to the court, including that and the notice of court fine, and explaining the obstruction that I've been receiving so far from Manukau District Court. Now, out of all the courts, Manukau District Court, you are shameful. I've been harassed 3 times in 11 months for clothes I'm wearing. I've had my property seized. I've been harassed by numerous staff members. I've been discriminated against by numerous staff members. We've requested documents, not just me, Tony as well in his case, have requested documents which fall on deaf ears, and yet another court, Hamilton for instance, can complete the request within 8 days. And yet Manukau hasn't even supplied the one for 6 months that we requested. We chased them up when we were in there a couple of weeks ago. Still nothing. So what the fuck? Does Manukau District Court registrar officers, do the registrars all need torts of professional negligence filed against you guys for you to pull your dicks out of your asses and actually do your job properly? Do you? Because if I can request via email for the last 10 years for shit, and you, Manukau District Court, be the only one out of all of the courts, I'm talking Auckland, Waitakere, Pukekohe, Hamilton, Hawera, I've dealt with a lot of courts, and that's just district courts, not talking about courts of appeal or Supreme Courts or High Courts, all LCROs. I've got transcripts from all of those places by emailing and requesting. And yet these guys want to dick you around. Why? Because they know I have 20 working days to file an appeal against that decision, which I have every right to do. But if it goes over those 20 working days, and of course I need the the legal decision. I need the transcript, the document of finality from the court hearing, and the transcript to show what went on. I need that document to correctly file my appeal. If I don't do it within those 20 working days or 28 days, then I have to also apply for leave of the court to file an appeal. So it gets rid of your right to apply if the registry does what they seem to always do and dick you around with supplying you the transcripts. Waitakere did this as well. I still got the transcript, but it took them 3 fucking months to supply it. So, and I didn't get my appeal granted, my application for leave on that one granted. So I was fucked. You know, so this is what they want to do this time. Well, it's what is it, the 17th of July? I have 10 days left, not counting the weekend as well. I have 10 days, or 7 working days left, or 8 working days left to file an appeal in the High Court. And these fuckers want to dick me around with the transcript. I'm also going to be applying for a stay on the notice of fine because they've fucked that up. Alright? So, just to be fair, I've filed all these documents and everything else. I've even filed a complaint, seeing I kept getting fucking dead to do it by Francis. Congratulations, Francis. I've filed the complaint. And I'll put that up on a separate video so everybody can see the complaint. I've also filed directly to the complaints department, the MOJ, and I've sent a thing directly to Chris Hurd too, because for some reason he seems to be the only one that deals with me. You know, so it's just fucking ridiculous. Needless to say, enough of my little whinge. I'm going to call right now the Department of Collections to make sure that they are informed and up to date. And I'm going to ask for a direct email. They might just tell me the email that's on the back of the fine here, finesinquiry@justice.govt.nz. But it'll be good if I could get a contact of an actual, you know, human being, a person, dare I say, you know, and deal with them direct, so I don't have to keep repeating the same bullshit over and over again. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let them know that I have emailed through the application for the transcripts today.
Thank you for calling the Ministry of Justice. Your call will be recorded for training purposes.
And we'll see what happens.
For inquiries about fines, press 1. For civil enforcement matters, press 2. For
just so you know, the PPN stands for Personal Profile Number. Every single person in New Zealand has a personal profile number. It's what they use to keep track of you.
behind you has been growing while you have been waiting. Stay on the line.
So's the bullshit at this end.
You've made the effort to call today, so we are working hard to talk to you as soon as we can.
It's the world's smallest violin playing just for them. Perhaps if the courts did their job properly, these guys wouldn't get so many calls. G'day David, how are you?
Good, thank you, and yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I'll give you a personal profile number, shall I?
Yep.
It's 11.
Awesome. And I'll just get your full name and date of birth, please.
Sure, Mark Donald Eric Keane, and Mum tells me it was a bit... Oh, honestly, I don't remember. I was there at the time, I just don't recall.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what Mum tells me, you know. Santa was real, according to her too, so, you know, you can't believe everything your mother tells you.
Yeah.
Right.
I was disappointed as well.
Yeah, and don't even get me started on the bloody tooth fairy. Honestly, I'm missing missing at least 16 teeth, and I ain't got no money for it. Anyway, listen, what I'm calling for today is I rang last week odd and spoke to a lovely lady there, and she told me to ring the department, Ministry of Justice as well, and talk to them. What's happened is on the court cost there you've got $130. But in the actual hearing, on the defended hearing, the Justice of the Peace that made the decision ordered $30 court costs, not $130. So after speaking to you guys last week, spoke to the MOJ, they said to email through to the Manukau District Court Registrar and request a breakdown of the costs, and to request a copy of the transcript, because that's the only thing that's going to show what was said. Granted, I already have an audio recording of the whole hearing anyway, and I played it back to you guys last week to show it was $30 court costs. But what the registry at Manukau have said, and they've come back to me and replied, they haven't given me any response in regards to a breakdown of the costs. They've sent me an application form to access the documents, which is really strange because in the last 10 years of requesting at least 30 transcripts through different court cases, I've never once had to fill out an application for it. I've just emailed them and they've supplied it. So whether they're trying to obstruct the process because they know I've got 20 working days to file an appeal, which I'm also wanting to do. But yeah, I need the transcript to show you guys that it was a $30 court cost and not $130. So the reason for my call today is just to let you guys know and to see, is there an email address I can send through a copy of the application for the transcript and stuff, just to back up what I'm saying and to keep you guys in the loop, so to speak.
Which fine is this was for the...
Yeah, a special bus lane ticket.
Oh, how long ago was that one?
It was on the 12th of January.
12th of January. Oh, yeah, that one. I can see it. Did that go through to court, did it?
Yeah, I requested a hearing. We had the defendant hearing. Their one witness, being the traffic warden that issued the ticket 6 days later, couldn't identify me as the driver. So, in other words, they couldn't prove the elements of the case. And the fact that I had asked for a court hearing and rebutted the fact that I was driving, they were trying to say, look, you need to fill out a declaration stating who the driver was. Well, there's 2 registered owners on the vehicle. So I said, did you just flip a coin as to who to send the ticket out to? Because they have no evidence as to who the actual driver was, and that's what they have to prove. They used the presumption under Section 133 of the Land Transport Act, you know, that the registered owner is the driver unless they get a declaration. Well, I can't fill out a declaration if I don't know who the hell was driving it that day. So I can't swear to knowing who it was and transfer the liability, and granted liability means upon conviction, so I'm only liable upon conviction, which is why we went to court. Hence my appeal, why I'm filing the appeal, because they didn't prove that I was the driver of the vehicle. All they proved that I was the registered owner, and that's where they sat. So that's why I'm going to appeal. It'll cost me $540 in High Court to appeal the ticket, but it's worth it. I'll happily set case law, and so everyone else can do the same thing. But yeah, so I just... Yep.
I'll just put it on notes on what you're actually doing.
Yeah. Basically, that I'm wanting to appeal it, that I've requested from Manukau District Court for a transcript to show you guys, you know, because to me that's the only evidence I can provide you that it was only a $30 court cost. Unless you want to listen to the video, go look it up, it's on YouTube. You know, I've posted the evidence there.
Yeah, because if that was the case, because they're the ones that actually...
Yeah, the other ones that have...
Right?
Yeah, well, it says here, issued the day after on the 1st of July by Manukau District Court. So either they can't write things down correctly, or there's something fraudulent going on, which is against, you know, the Crimes Act 1961, Section 240, misrepresentation, gaining money. And if they want to misrepresent and lie and file out a fraudulent notice of fine, I'll take them to court over that one too. I love court.
Was it only supposed to be $30? Was it?
Yes, yeah. That's what the JP said on the day. So the fact that they bumped it up to 130, you know, it might have been because I was wearing my own court security jumper, which I've made me own in court, and they tried to stop me going into the building because they reckon I was impersonating a court security officer. Absolutely hysterical. And my jumper has got a Ghostbuster sign through the crest and been approved by the Ministry of Justice for me to wear it in court buildings. I sorted it all out like 4 years ago. So these guys just were being complete muppets when I went into court. So I don't know. I can only presume. But what I do know for a fact with my own recording is that the court ordered $30 court costs.
Fine $150 with court costs of $30.
The court ordered $30 court costs, and now I can tell that the Manukau District Court Registry are obstructing me getting the transcript by getting me to fill out this stupid applications for documents form. So I've done that today, and I just want to keep you guys in the loop. If you've got an email address, I can send that application to, so you have it on record. Happy to do so. Or should I just send it to the fines inquiry at justice.govt.nz?
Yeah, you can send it through to there, but I can just put it on notes on here and what's actually happening with you at the moment. So there's a form.
Yeah, it's called an access application for access to court documents, and ironically, it's on this 5-page form. It's saying we want to look at these documents. No, I don't want to look at them. I want a copy of them, because under the Access to Court Documents Rules 2017, Section 9 through to 12, I believe it is, or Rule 9 through to 12, as a part of the proceedings, I have a right to have a copy of the decision. You know, let alone everything else. I can ask for the complete copy of the case bundle, and they have to supply it to me because I'm a party to it. So, but yeah, this form they've got me to fill out is, as far as I'm concerned, just their attempt to slow things down, because I have 20 working days to file for an appeal against this decision without having to first apply for leave from the court to do so. You know what I mean? After that 20 working days to file for the appeal, I have to apply for leave from the court first to file for the appeal. So this is just a stalling tactic they do. But yeah, like I say, in the last 10 years, I've requested many transcripts just via email to the registrar of whatever court I'm dealing with, and they just supply them. So, yeah. But I'm in a rock and a hard place, because it's the only way I can do it is to fill out this stupid form for them to supply the transcript, and that's if they grant that application. If they don't supply the transcript, and I have no other way of proving it other than showing you the YouTube video that shows the judge saying it, how do I get around that one? How do I prove to you guys that it was only a $30 court cost without the transcript?
Because that was made in court, right?
Yeah.
It has to actually go through the court again because you're appealing.
Yeah, well, I'm going to the high. But I'm not appealing in district court. I'll be appealing in the high court, where they actually have inherent jurisdiction to deal with the stuff-ups of the lower courts. But it's ironic that the JP at the start of the hearing stated that the elements of the crime were time, date, place, it was that vehicle, and I was the driver. And yet, their witnesses couldn't say, I flat out asked her, can you identify myself as the driver that day? No, she says. Okay, so case not proven. But no, they use that old 133 presumption that I'm the registered owner, therefore I'm the driver. Okay, well, at least the car's got 2 steering wheels. How do they know whether it was me or my wife driving it? And the video of the offence didn't show who the driver was. But it's not for me to. I have the right to STF you and have them prove every element. And because I'm not filling out a declaration or helping them prove their case against me, it's being held against me. So, sorry, I love going to court. It's great fun, you know. If you want to see a good, you know, it's better than the All Blacks versus South Africa last week, you know, just take beforehand.
Oh yeah, wasn't that funny, that one?
Oh, wasn't it? Yeah. Kick their ass. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah. Everybody was like, they've got no chance. Like,
yeah.
We don't know. Oh well, we proved everybody wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll put it their notes on an update on what you're doing at the moment, because you have to fill out this form if you want to access court documents, and that's what you're going through at the moment, because it was supposed to be ordered just $30, right?
Yeah, court costs 30. Yeah.
Not the 130?
Nope.
Was it 100?
It was $150 for the fine, for the infringement, for bus lane ticket.
Okay, cool.
And it was $30 costs.
Just $30 costs.
Mm-hmm.
Just
like my January speeding ticket was $30 costs. And the last person I spoke to on your line here, she said, "Oh, it might have been because you had a defended hearing." I'm sorry, but I spent, back in 2017, I spent 10 months and 4 appearances challenging an $80 ticket, just for shits and giggles, and that was dismissed, that one. The case I had in January, that was $30 court costs. I was there for 3 hours in a defended hearing, having great fun with the fucking cop on the stand. Might as well make you earn your revenue. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just putting all the notes in there.
Yeah, sure.
On what you're
Well,
doing
like I say,
are you
sorry,
are going to take it to the High Court, right?
yeah, I'm going to be appealing it. Well, there's no point appealing it in the district court. That's the one that stuffed up the decision last time. And especially Manukau District Court, out of all the courts I've dealt with, and there's been plenty, and Manukau District Court is by far the most disgusting one when it comes to actually supplying what you ask for and what you're entitled to. You know, they're going to call me this thing called a defendant. I'm going to ask for what this defendant is entitled to. So that's all I'm doing, is holding them to their own rules. And for some reason I keep winning. Go figure that one. Because I won 2 in January as well.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I'm having fun. I know that much. I see so many people walking around courthouses all doom and gloom and, you know, tense, and I walk in with a big smile on my face. They just don't know how to deal with me.
Cool.
Alright, so can I email, shall I email that application through to you guys as well, just so you've got it on record there?
Yeah, just put on there, this is regards to PPN.
Yeah, I'll put the PPN reference, no worries.
Yeah, and just tell them this is the update because I'm waiting for the transcript, but I'm going to appeal this in the High Court as well.
Yeah, I mean, if it goes over the 20 working days, I'll just have to file for leave to do the appeal first. But it all boils on when I get supplied the transcript, or if I get supplied the transcript. But like I say, you've got my email address there, haven't you? CKA Mark OTHO Keen at Gmail.
Go back into CTA Mark. Oh, yep.
Yeah, so if you get rid of that at gmail.com, just look that up on YouTube. It's all there for you.
Oh, is it there?
Yeah. Alright, bro.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, have a good one.
Anything else?
No, that's it, Dave. Thanks very much.
Okay.
Stella.
You're welcome. All right. Thanks for calling.
No worries.
Good
Cheers,
luck
buddy.
on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Dave, another top bloke. You've got to do this with a bit of humour. If you don't have humour, you're going fucking nuts. And yeah, you might be going, yeah, well, you're fucking nuts anyway, but might as well have some fun with it, eh? And I'll tell them to their face. I'll keep you posted. Till then, ka kite anō. Keep cool to after school, people. See ya.